Hello students, welcome to our mathematics class. So today we will talk about the laws of exponents. Power has something to do with the laws of exponents. When we say power, it has two components. So we have here the base and the exponent. When we say exponent, it is any number written at the upper right of a certain number or variable of an expression called the base. When we say base, it is the number taken as the n factors. So let's have here the example. So we have here 125 is equal to 5 raised to 3, means that 5 raised to 3 is the exponential form of the number 125. 5 raised to 3 means 3 factors of 5 or 5 times 5 times 5. Now, let's talk about the different laws of exponents. So we have here the first one, which is the exponential form. It says here, the exponent of a power indicate how many times the base multiplies itself. So for example, we have here x raised to n, which means it is the n factors of x. So we have here the example 5 raised to 3, or it means that it is 5 times 5 times 5. Now, let's have the second one, which is the multiplying powers. If you are multiplying powers with the same base, keep the base and add the exponents. So, we have here the form of multiplying powers. So, x raised to m times x raised to n is equal to x raised to m plus n. For better understanding, let's have an example. So we have here 2 raised to 6 times 2 raised to 3 is equal to 2 raised to 6 plus 3 is equal to 2 raised to 9, or simply 512. So I get it, when you multiply powers, you add the exponents, just simply as that. Let's have the third one, which is dividing powers. So when we divide powers with the same base, keep the base and subtract the exponent. So we have here the form of dividing powers. So we have here x raised to m all over by x raised to n, or it means x raised to m divided by x raised to n is equal to x raised to m minus n. For better understanding, let's have an example. We have here 2 raised to 6 all over by 2 raised to 2 is equal to 2 raised to 6 minus 2. Then it is equal to 2 raised to 4, or simply 16. So I get it. When you divide powers, you subtract the exponent. So kanina doon sa ating multiplying powers, ang ginagawa lang natin ay keep the base, then add the exponent. Then dito sa ating dividing powers, keep the base, then subtract the exponent. Next laws of exponent is the power of a power. So if you are raising a power to an exponent, you multiply the exponents. So we have here the form of a power of a power. So we have here the quantity x raised to m, quantity raised to n is equal to x raised to m, n. So for better understanding, let's have an example. We have here the quantity 5 cube, quantity raised to square is equal to 5 raised to 3 times 2, or simply, imumultiply lang natin yung kanyang exponent, kaya naging 5 raised to 6. So, when I take a power to a power, I multiply the exponent. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. I-multiply lang natin yung ating mga exponent. Now, let's have the fifth one, which is the product law of exponents. If the product of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is a multiplication of individual factors of the product, each powered by the given exponent. So we have here the form of product law of exponents. We have here the quantity xy, quantity raised to n is equal to x raised to n times y raised to n, or simply x raised to n, y raised to n. For better understanding, we have here an example. So we have here the quantity ab square is equal to a square b square. So when I take a power of a product, I apply the exponent to all factors of the product. So dito, dinistribute lang natin yung ating mga or yung ating exponents. Kung meron tayong product law of exponents, we also have the quotient law of exponents. So it says here, if the quotient of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is both numerator and denominator, each powered by the given exponent. So we have here the form of quotient law of exponent. So the quantity x over y raised to n is equal to x raised to n all over by y raised to n. For better understanding, let's have an example. So we have here 2/3 raised to 4 is equal to 2 raised to 4 all over by 3 raised to 4. So dito, dinistribute lang yung ating exponent sa ating numerator and denominator. So yung ating final answer will be 16 all over by 81. So when you take a power of a quotient, you will apply the exponent to all parts of the quotients. So kung kanina doon sa ating product law of exponents, dinidistribute natin yung ating exponent doon sa ating mga variables or sa ating mga constant. Dito naman, i-distribute din natin yung ating exponent both sa ating numerator and denominator. Now, let's have the number 7 laws of exponents, which is the negative law of exponents. So, if the base is powered by the negative exponent, then the base becomes reciprocal with the positive exponent. So, we have here the form of negative law of exponents. So, we have here x raised to negative m is equal to 1 all over by x raised to m. So, dito, kapag negative yung ating exponent, kukunin lang natin yung kanyang reciprocal para siya ay magiging positive na, or yung ating exponent ay magiging positive. So, for better understanding, let's have the example. So, we have here the first example, which is 5 raised to negative 3. So, dito, kukunin natin yung kanyang reciprocal para maging positive yung ating exponent, kaya magiging 1 all over by 5 raised to 3. Then, kapag sinimplify natin yung 5 raised to 3, it will become 1 all over by 125. Now, let's have the second example, which is 1 all over by 3 raised to negative 2. So, dito naman, fraction yung ating binigay na example. So, dito, kukunin ulit natin yung kanyang reciprocal para maging positive yung ating exponent. So, kapag kinuha natin yung reciprocal niyan, magiging 3 raised to 2 all over by 1, or simply 3 raised to 2. Then, kapag sinimplify natin yan, 3 times 3 will give us positive 9. So, when you have a negative exponent, you will switch the base to its reciprocal with a positive exponent. Then, if the base with the negative exponent is in the denominator, it moves to the numerator to lose its negative sign. Now, let's have the last one, which is the zero law of exponents. So, any base powered by zero exponent equals 1. So, we have here the form of zero law of exponents. So, x raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, simple lang yung sinasabi ng ating zero law of exponents. So, lahat ng naka-raise or may exponent na 0 will be equal to 1. So, let's have an example. We have here 5 raised to 0 is equal to 1. A raised to 0 is equal to 1. Then, the quantity 5a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So, kahit 1 million pa yan, 1 trillion, basta naka-raise sa 0, ang sagot po natin ay 1. So, 0 factors of a base equals 1. That makes sense. Every power has a coefficient of 1. So, that's end our lesson about the laws of exponents. So, kapag meron kayong tanong, suggestion, or clarification, just comment down below and I will try my best to answer it properly and correctly. Thanks for watching. God bless everyone.